International Conference on 162 birthday of Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore-ji. That is the 7th May 2023. Yes. Welcome to each and everybody. I could see that people joined with the video and audio also. Yes, welcome in the Kiswahili, we will say the Karibusana. I could see from Kerala, Mohammed Siddiqui joined the video and audio also. Meena Jha also present. Our Namurti Judge also be present over there. And the purpose of my making this platform is to commemorate, to understand, and to know the words of the Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore. Otherwise, the coming generation will forget who is Rabindranath Tagore. And they will also forget what is Shakti Niketan, and which is turned to be now Vishwabharati, if I not be mistaken. And here the participants' photos are made it here from the beginning. I would say introduce them, but anyway, at the time being also you can get it to know who are they and what are they. Yes, now it is buffering. Yes, this is Professor Dr. Anil K. Dikshit from Uttaranchal, and he is one of the speaker. Next we can say that Dr. Anuradha, and pursuing the PhD assistant professor, Savita School of Law, Chennai, and this is the case Arjun Kumar, Villa College, Maldives, and we can see the Mrs. V. Bakyam, net qualified assistant professor, Saraswati Law College, India, and this is the Dr. Dilshad Sheikh, the Dean, is the Satya Bhamna School of Law, is the Dean University in Chennai, and this is the invitation which I sent to your all emails. And there are 18 speakers are there, and let us see that how many would be the present for the today's congregation or gathering. Then I can move on to the another. This is Dr. Jetlingelosa, Associate Professor of Law, Telangana University, Nizamabad, Telangana State, India. And our learned friend, Dr. Kaviti Srinivas Rao, is the international lawyer, and he is based on the New York, having the branches in the USA, UK, Australia, Israel, and Dubai. And later on, I could say that Dr. Meena Jha, Lincoln University College, Malaysia, in public health. Then we can say that Dr. Meenakshi Tomar, and she's a principal of IPM Law College, Ghaziabad. It is there in India. And we can find the Mohammed Salim pursuing the PhD research scholar, V-I-T School of Law, Chennai. Yes, I allow them. Now it is me, of course, Professor Dr. Mohammed Saheb Hussain, St. Augustine University of Tanzania, East Africa. I am organizing this one. Later on, we can see that our Namurti, senior civil judge, retired from Tanjavur, Tamil Nadu. And we can see the Pankaj Pathak, he is an educationist and Banke Shiksha campus, Nepal, Ganj, Nepal. And then we can see the Professor Dr. Ramanand Pandit is the Global Star Education Foundation Research and Training Center from the Nepal. And we can see here now on the screen Professor Shahin Khan, Bharati, Deemed University, and a practicing advocate also from Chennai. And we can see here again the Professor Dr. M. Idris Siddiqui, Professor of Economics in India. Now he took the voluntary retirement. He is from India, served the Raebareli and many other universities here, including the Eritrea, where I met him when I was working here. And I can say that he is one of my guru. Otherwise, I don't know how to present a paper in the seminar. He guided me me like a boy, a small kindergarten, and I am very much indebted to him. And he is, after my pursuing a lot, that he concentrated and he given the consent to be one of the speaker, and he's a best story writer also. Like you could see the Rabindranath Tagore, and he wrote the for the children, for the adults, and many poet, novelist, and our sir also like that. Another we can say the Professor Dr. S.B. Sharma, he is from India, but now the Vice Chancellor in the Millennium University, Malawi. And my another guru, we can say the Professor Yashpal Singh, is a national award in the 2004, and he is from Dwarka, New Delhi, Delhi, and these are the people, those who are there. Now, the first speaker that I would like to give the chance to the ladies first, if the other people will agree it. Shall I give the chance to the, here I can see the Meenakshi Tomar also there, and you can see the Meena Jha is there. But I believe that Meena Jha will give the chance to her because she also requested me to do so. Shall I proceed with the Meena Jha?
Yes, why not?
I am very much happy that now Meena Jha also sent her PPT, and I am sure that I saved it. It is there, no doubt. Meena Jha. Yes. Yeah.
Very good evening.
Yeah, please proceed.
A very good evening, respected Professor Mohammed Saheb Hussain, sir. And my warm greetings to all eminent speakers, guests, and everyone. This is Meena Jha. I hope I am audible, sir.
Yes, audible. Now you can visible also. I mean, PPT will be visible.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for every time you are conducting such informative webinars. This not only help us to enlighten, and we also enhance our learnings by participating in your webinars. So please accept my gratitude. And today we all are present here for commemorating 162nd birth anniversary of Rabindranath Tagore, Nobelist. And thank you, sir, for sharing the PPT. And I request you to proceed for the next slide, please.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. So here in this presentation, we can see the quote by Shri Rabindranath Tagore: "By plucking her petals, you do not gather the beauty of the flower. We have to grow and nurture the flower. So we must appreciate the nature, Mother Nature's beauty." And as spoke by Shri Hussain sir, that about Shanti Niketan and all, yes, Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore, he was the great poet, and he wrote Gitanjali, very famous song offering. So Rabindranath, a collection of prose translation made by the artist terms. So sir, next slide please. Yes, Sir Rabindranath Tagore was born according to the Gregorian calendar on May 7th in 1861, but according to the Bengali calendar, it was the 25th of Baisakh. He was a renowned poet, musician, artist. He reshaped Bengali literature and music, introduced India's rich cultural heritage to the West, and was the first non-European to receive the Nobel Prize. This is really one of the greatest and grandest achievement for our India, that he was the Nobel laureate. And he also composed the Rashtragan, national anthem, Jana Gana Mana, India's national anthem, and he was famous by many names: Gurudev, Kabi Guru, Vishwa Kabi, and is often referred to as the Bard of Bengal. Great poet. Next slide, please, sir. Thank you so much. Rabindranath Tagore was born on May 7, and he was a leading figure in the Bengali Renaissance and played a significant role in the modernization of Bengali art. His poetry, novels, short stories, and essays continue to be widely read around the world to this day. Now, even students, researchers, professors, all are referring his novels, his poets, and prose and other things. Various schools, colleges, and universities organizes cultural programs and events such as poetry recitations, dances, drama competition, etc. Rabindra Jayanti is observed annually to commemorate the birth anniversary of Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore. So, this year marks the 162th birth anniversary of Tagore's birth. So here we can see, according to Rabindranath Tagore, he also conveyed the law of secret. Whatever we desire, everything comes to us that belongs to us if we create the capacity to receive it. So we must be always enthusiastic and we should get it. And Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore Jayanti, this slide shows us, and he was really a very Bengali polymath and reshaped the region literature and music. And this is the thing which I would like to share with you all. And he gave the world Gitanjali, a collection of sensitive Bengali poems which won him the Nobel Prize Literature in 1913. And some of his best known works, apart from Gitanjali, include Gora, that is fair faced, Ghare Bhare, the home and the world, Chokhar Bali, Kabuli Wala, the postmaster, and Shishir Kabita, among others. Tagore was married to Mrinalini Devi in 1883 and the couple had 5 children. His wife passed away in 1902 and his breath is last in August 7, 1941 and age 80. So by this, thank you so much. Gratitude and my warm wishes to everyone. Thank you so much, respected Mohammed Saheb Hussain sir, for giving me opportunity.
Yes, just now that you heard that Dr. Meena Jha and she narrated the national anthem, but I would like to add, and he also made the national anthem for the Bangladesh. Am I right, sir? Participants and speakers.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, now I could see that who will be the ready, because I said I will give the first chance to the ladies, and I think Tamar is very much present now. Am I right, Tamar?
Sir, I am ready.
First, I said ladies. If he is not present, then I will give the chance to you so that you can make it out. Yes,
Sir.
Tamar, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, if you want to open the video, you can open it. If not, you can deal with the audio only.
Okay, sir. No issue, sir.
Yes, please.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Sir, this is Dr. from India. I'm principal of IPM Law Academy. I'm very happy that today I'm here between all of you. Sir, my presentation is Guru Rabindranath Tagore birthday. Sir, Guru Rabindranath Tagore pronounced 7th May 1861 to 7th August 1941 was a Bengali firist who worked as a poet, writer, playwright, composer, philosopher, social reformer, and painter. He shaped Bengali literature and music as well as Indian art with in different way. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you can continue it. Audible.
Okay. Sir, Guru Rabindranath Tagore was the author of profoundly sensitive, fresh, and beautiful poetry of Gitanjali. He became in 1930 the first non-European and the first lyricist to win the Nobel Prize in Literature. Tagore poet's songs were viewed as spiritual and minerals. A Bengali Brahmins from Calcutta with ancestral gentry roots in Vardens districts and Jessore. Tagore wrote poetry as an 8-year-old. At the age of 16, he released his first sustainable poems under the pseudonym Bhuvaneshwar like Sun Lion, which were seized upon by literacy authority as long last classic. Tagore modernized Bengali art by spurnished rigid classical forms and registered linguistic structures. His novels, stories, songs, dance, dramas, and essays spoke to topics political and personal. Gitanjali's song offering Gora, Fairfaced, and Gerbera, the Home and the World are the best known work and his was. Short stories and novels were acclaimed or planned for their lyricism. Sir Rabindranath Tagore, writing a deeply rooted in both Indian and Western learning traditions, apart from fiction in the form of poetry, songs, stories, and dramas, it also include portraits of common pupil lives, literacy, criticisms, philosophy, and social issues. Tagore originally wrote in Bengali, but later reached a broad audience in the West after recasting his poetry in English. In contrasting to the fresh life in the West, his poetry was filled to convey the peace of the soul in the harmony with nature. So, my best wishes. Thank you for this presentation, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, I'm very much thankful to the principal of the IPM college and the next presenter. Just before you said no, sir, I would like to make it out. But Bakim also be present here. If Bakim says no, then we will go to the other person, the presenter, the speaker. Bakim, are you ready? If not,
Yes, I am
see
ready.
also Shaheen Khan. If you are ready, Bakim, you can proceed.
Yes, sir. I am ready, sir.
You can proceed.
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Very much audible.
Okay. Very good evening, sir. My great respects to the learned, our professor, Dr. Saheb Hussain, senior most professor, for conducting these kind of seminars and conferences. And you are the one who is making the remembrance of these noble laureates who passed away from our country, because they were the gems, they are the assets of our country. Although they are no more, but they are about their all achievements and everything, their good deeds, their achievements. We are still talking about that. So, regarding Rabindranath Tagore, sir, everybody knows that what he was and what were his achievements. And he was a Nobel laureate, he was an educationist, he was an academician, and he wrote many books. He is author of many books. He authored dramas and many more things. Above all, is the main point of his interest was towards poetry. So he wrote many poems, and he was the first person, first Indian and first Asian who was awarded with the Nobel Prize in the year 1913 by the British Crown. British Crown. That is very, very important thing that the Britishers realized his Nobel laureateship and they awarded him the best Nobel Prize. And it is a pride to us, pride to Indians that he was the first Indian, first Asian to get such a Nobel Prize. And apart from that, he did many, many works. And the most important and the foremost great thing of his achievement is that even today, everybody remembers him by virtue of his written national anthem, which was written in Bengali language, that Jana Gana Mana, and later it was adopted in Hindi language and it was officially registered as a national anthem and in the year 1950. And from therefore, from the Republic Day onwards, the national anthem is our official national anthem, which represents India all over the world, wherever any official program is there, or our Independence Day is there, our Republic Day is celebrated in every nook and corner of the world. This national anthem will be sung, and this is our tribute to late Rabindranath Tagore sir regarding this. One little thing about him, I wanted to say that the most famous heroine of India, Sharmila Tagore, is his brother's great granddaughter. So her background is from this Rabindranath Tagore's family. And because, of course, there may be many people belonging to his generation who inherited him, but they are not known publicly except this Sharmila Tagore. And as it is known that she is a very famous Hindi film industry heroine. She got married to Nawab Mansur Ali Khan Pataudi and she has her children. Even they are now in the film industry. So that is, they are carrying forward the name of Rabindranath Tagore. And how they are carrying forward means he was a lover of drama also. And he used to write many dramas, many plays. So they are playing in the movies. It is going on inheritance like that. So this all and many more things are there about Sir Rabindranath Tagore. And but I want to confine myself and give an opportunity to other speakers. And with lot of tributes to Rabindranath Tagore sir, may his soul rest in peace. And with great and profound thanks to Dr. Saheb Hussain sir and the other speakers of this program, I thank you so much, sir, and I conclude my speech pertaining to this topic. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Shang, and the practicing advocate also from the Bharati University, deemed University, Chennai. And we begin. Are you ready?
Yes, sir, I'm ready.
Yes, now you can continue it.
Okay.
Saraswati College became net qualified.
Thank you, sir. I'm starting with Rabindranath Tagore. Sir, everything comes to us that belongs to us if we create the capacity to receive it. Good evening to one and all. Very happy and glad to deliver a speech on versatile personality of Rabindranath Tagore on the occasion of celebration of Rabindranath Tagore Jayanti and 162nd anniversary of respected Rabindranath Tagore. I thank Professor respected Dr. Mohammed Saheb Hussain sir for giving me the wonderful opportunity for delivering speech on the occasion of celebration of Rabindranath Tagore Jayanti. Rabindranath Tagore was an incredible, versatile personality. He performed as a poet, philosopher, social reformer, writer, playwright, composer, and artist. He exemplified India and its values at the national and international level. He was awarded the world-famous Nobel Prize for Literature for his famous book of poetry called Gitanjali in 1913. The British Crown awarded him the knighthood. His fundamental attributes of educational philosophy: one is the teaching should be unique with intellectual, aesthetic, economic, social, cultural, spiritual aspect. Next thing, the factual education is to understand at every stage how our training, coaching, or guiding and learning have a natural relationship with our ambiences. Tagore is the only special person to have composed the national anthems of 3 nations. The majority publics know that Tagore wrote the national anthems of India and Bangladesh, Janagana Mana and Amar Sonar Bangla, correspondingly. Sri Lankan national anthem is originated on a Bengali song initially written by Tagore in 1938. In the year of 1951, it was converted into Sinhalese and embraced as the national anthem. Tagore recommended the virtuous educational scheme not only intensify the knowledge but also influence the intellectual improvement, physical progress, moral advancement, social expansion, and spiritual enhancement. It further progresses synchronization and artistic creativity, for example, individualism or assertiveness or self-expression. He recommended and he commenced a new prose and verse forms and the use of colloquial or local slang language into Bengali literature. He introduced Indian culture to the West as well as worldwide. Tagore laid great pressure and importance on the aesthetic improvement of the senses in his philosophy of education. He argued that development of the senses was as significant as intellectual improvement. He therefore dedicated importance to music, literature, art, dance, and drama in the day-to-day life cycle of the school. According to Rabindranath Tagore, education is self-realization. Self-realization is possible only with the mother nature and environment. He also trusted that all human beings is an element of the universal soul. So the ultimate object of education is to reach people in the universal spirit. In 1905, Lord Curzon decided to divide Bengal into 2 parts. At that time, he strongly opposed against this decision, as well as he wrote a number of national songs and attended protest meetings. He introduced Raksha Bandhan ceremony and it's a symbol, the underlying unity of undivided Bengal. As a means to prevent 1905 Bengal partition, Curzon decided to divide Bengal into 2 parts. At that time, he strongly opposed against this decision, As well as he wrote a number of social songs and attended protest meetings. He introduced Raksha Bandhan ceremony and it's a symbol, the underlying unity of undivided Bengal. As a means to prevent 1905 Bengal partition, so he introduced the Raksha Bandhan. It is a symbol of unity. The role of Rabindranath Tagore for the improvement of contemporary education as a substitute to the existing forms of education. He commenced a school of Santiniketan in 1905 that advanced into a university, and he tried to develop an alternative and substitute model of education that stemmed from his own learning experience. Finally, I would like to conclude with the words Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore's devotion to his mother tongue amazes me, because nowadays learning mother tongue is considered as a second language, and learning a foreign language is considered as a pride. I strongly oppose this, because when learning a mother tongue, one can easily understand any language. Through mother tongue, we can create great leaders also. I don't like a single language policy, because their culture and their mother tongue are special to everyone. We must not forget that Rabindranath Tagore's works achieved great significance in his mother tongue. Although we need a foreign language, we must not forget to think in our mother tongue. That's why the reason why uniform civil code cannot be implemented till date, because their culture and their religious matters are different, and there are still contradictions in their implementation. I would like to conclude myself. Let's all honor and respect and adore on this 162nd anniversary of Rabindranath Tagore Jayanti. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Nandri. Thank you for your kind narration about the Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore. And now, because the ladies' sessions are over, the gents' session will start unless other people will join it. May I request Professor Muhammad Idris Siddiqui Stars to bless us with his expressions.
Hi everyone. It's my good morning and your good evening.
Yes, sir.
Let me begin with my childhood. I was a voracious reader when I was in the school. I was very much interested in building my own library when I was in grade 5. At that time, I got the Urdu translation of Gitanjali. I simply could not understand it. I could not appreciate it. I was very much impressed by the personality of Rabindranath Tagore, that he is a Nobel laureate. In those days, I was not even aware of what is a Nobel Prize, because I was a student of grade 5. So, in a nutshell, I was not impressed or interested in Rabindranath Tagore or his poetry. But when I was in grade 9, there was a poem in my syllabus where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, then I was very much interested and awakened by these lines, by this particular poem. The question which intrigued me as a researcher, why did Rabindranath Tagore turn from an individual to an institution? What were the motivational points or behavior dynamics? What were the factors which influenced his personality and an individual became an institution? We all know about Rabindranath Tagore, that he was a Bengali Brahmin. He was born in Bengal. He was a poet. He was a dramatist. He was a composer. But what were the forces behind that? What changed a man from an individual to an institution? This is the basic question which particularly intrigued my mind. Let me give you a little more narration. We all see poverty around us. We see the sufferings and misery. We see the hunger. We see the deprivation. We sympathize. Generally, we all sympathize. We see social conflicts. We see political conflicts. We see religious disharmony. We all sympathize. So sympathy is associated with a common man. What's about Rabindranath Tagore? He was born in a very feudal society. He was a rich person. He had plenty amidst poverty. But he saw the hunger and suffering of a common man. Bengal is also, or the history of Bengal is also associated with famines, great famines, and deprivation and hunger and poverty, abject poverty. Rabindranath Tagore not only sympathized, but he empathized. He had a natural trait of empathizing with the poor, with the poverty, with the hunger, with the deprivation, with the discrimination. Rabindranath Tagore was a witness to social disparity in his society all around. We all see social disparity, we all see discrimination, we sympathize, but he empathized. That was the reason that Rabindranath Tagore could feel the pain and pangs. And empathy was once again was there. Those were the days, and still we have those days where religious conflicts are very common. Religious disharmony is there. I'm not talking about any particular country. It's everywhere. It is perhaps in human nature. Rabindranath Tagore, who was a person influenced by a fakir, his name was Lolan Shah. And later on, when he went to Amritsar, he attended morning discourses at Golden Temple. He was particularly influenced by the Gurbani, so much so that he and his father both attended morning prayer every day in Amritsar. So this was the inclination of Rabindranath Tagore towards mysticism, which was inspired by Lolan Shah, an unknown fakir, but a famous Baul singer, and then the beautiful composition of Gurban. Again, empathy was there. He felt it and he found it in his soul. There were the days of political conflict at that time. India was subjugated to serfdom by the English. We were the British subject. Rabindranath Tagore, who once praised the British government and particularly King George V. Later on, after 4 years, he got disenchanted when he saw the miseries of Indians, and he renounced. He got detached with the British Empire and the British traditions, and he joined the movement, or rather, he was one of the founders of the movement. Rabindranath Tagore should not be known because he got the Nobel Prize, but Rabindranath Tagore must be examined in the light of the work he has done. He was the first among the first Indians or Asians who talked about the women empowerment. He was one of the pioneers who talked about the education in a very informal setting. When he was a student, Rabindranath Tagore was a student at Presidency College, he was very much felt shackled by the traditional method of teaching and learning. He was not interested in it. So he wanted to revolutionize the education system, which should be informal, which should be in consonance with the nature. It should be in the lap of the nature where man can connect with the nature and ultimately with the creator of the nature. That was the influence, that was the motivating force behind Rabindranath Tagore's turning into an institution. In short, I want to highlight one particular point. Being a children's writer, I write short stories for children. My stories are not about the morals, it's not about the religion. I talk about particular problems like physical challenges, children suffering with mental and physical challenges. What's about them? They are being ostracized in our society, or they are at the margin, if not ostracized. Did anybody raise this point ever? Yes, of course. Rabindranath Tagore was perhaps one of the earliest writers who wrote for children. His story Kabuliwala is much more known because a film was made for this story. Manna Dey sang the beautiful song and Kabliwala is known to all the persons, at least those who belong to my generation. But very few people know that Rabindranath Tagore also wrote a short story, a very touching story about a deaf girl who was feeling all alone. She was incarcerated in her own world. She was not communicating with others because others were unable to communicate with her. He could feel once again empathy was there, and Rabindranath Tagore could feel the suffocation the girl or such physically challenged children undergo every day in their life. The story Subh is one of the greatest example, and that makes Rabindranath Tagore a great writer. Rabindranath Tagore was against the religious disharmony, and that's why he was impressed by the Baul singing. All his music compositions were influenced somewhere, in some way, somehow, by the known mystic Baul singer Nolan Shah. And that's why you see a kind of music which was created by Rabindranath Tagore, which is known as the Rabindra Sangeet. It connects a common man with the society, with the creator, with the problems, with the tradition, with the heritage. And that is what it should be. And that's why Rabindranath Tagore was not only an individual, a Nobel laureate, but also an institution, the man who started Shanti Niketan to introduce informal setting of learning and teaching. And that was a greatest contribution of Rabindranath Tagore. So he was a pioneer in many senses, not because he got the Nobel laureate, he was great, but because Rabindranath was great, and that's why Nobel laureate was awarded to him. That is how I see Rabindranath Tagore, and the motivational factor or the secret behind that, making him great, was his empathy, which he always had, and that is what he reflected through his work, through his art, through his paintings, through his poems, through his dramas, and through his literature. So Rabindranath is, of course, the greatest of all the times. Thank you very much.
I really appreciate the way our Professor Muhammad Idris Siddiqui sir explained from an individual to the institution. We did not know it. But today that we got it, how he will be impressed and what way that he did it, the religious disharmony, he condemned it, and how he can brought from the individual to the institution, and this secret that we did not get it. And that's why a veteran is veteran, a amateur is amateur. And the people, those who read, and they know a lot of things which we did not know it. And that is the reason we want to have such a veterans to know and guide us within a short time, the entire thing. And I'm very much impressed by the Professor Dr. Muhammad Idris Siddiqui sir, and he has got his award from the Pakistan on his books. I told him, sir, you send the flyovers. Sir made the flyovers only 3 and 1, which I displayed. You can see when I recorded when you are looking at the time. And now we are together in the University of Asmara, Eritrea, and where we got the acquaintanceship and are now settled in the Canada, Toronto. Yes, now I could see that our Pankaj, you have to give in a brief manner from Nepal the way our Professor Dr. Muhammad Idris Siddiqui has given the thing which we did not know at all. Now I can switch out to he is also a good academician and he runs the institution and is a good prolific writer and he writes a lot and reads a lot. I am switch over to the Pankaj Pathak from Nepal. Proceed.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Dr. Mamaji Mohammed Saheb Hussain. Once again, I extend my gratitude to our convener, Dr. Mohammed Saheb Hussain, and my mentor and guide, Dr. Anil Kumar Dikshit sir, chancellors, pro-chancellors, vice-chancellors, deans, directors, and principals of dignified schools in dignified countries. I would like to extend laurels to Dr. Punjab, Sindh, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Nepalganj, Lumbini, Nepal. This is the Rashtragan which I sang when I was in my schooling. I attended ICSE board in the borders of between India and Nepal. Dr. Rabindranath Tagore and our symbiotic relationship. Dr. Shantaram Balwant Muzumdar, our Kanas sir, who inspired me for writing about symbiotic relationship of between adults, between children, and diagnose and evaluate through our school systems. I attended Malini, famous drama written by Dr. Rabindranath Tagore in our class 2, which I did from NEB. Now it is NEB, National Examination Board. Earlier it was HSEB, Higher Secondary Education Board. And these are the issues which we are discussing over different social platforms about child developments, about instructional evaluations, about history of, just a minute, yes, about history. Yes, about history of education, in which our literature, like I also attended drama of Sir William Shakespeare, Merchant of Venice, where the word principle has been used exclusively and being taught in our school, how Portia fights with the lawyer, and that inspires us a lot in writing my own story at Symbiosis International University, which opened my mind to write, to read a lot, and to analyze things systematically, break down bigger problems into small pieces, so that things become easy to connect the dots, and the process start to end is done carefully. I suggest technology authors to be more careful with the devices and our memories. It's like flowers in Ganga flowing and taking away all the memories which we have, but it is not. Memories always remain till our end. And Supriya and Kimankar, king and the queen and the brother relationship, which touches the youth during the movement, and many were inspired. And I tried to change the mind of my students, youngsters, from between 16 to 58 and even more. They all became our students during the political movements. And yesterday, on 20th of Baisakh, monarch King Gyanendra visited us in Nepalganj. These all things remains. That means Rabindranath Tagore and Bengali culture is very connected to our culture. My elder Bhabi is also from West Bengal, and myself, my wife is a daughter of priest. Mishra Avdish, Sri Avdish Mishra is my father-in-law. So they all know this Dr. Rabindranath Tagore very well, and heroine, actress, Auntie Sharmila Tagore is favorite of our aunts in our Bhiputinagar, where we used to buy a lot of reel cassettes for them to see the movies of her. That means she's that famous in Nepal, and we Bengali language and Nepali language is very similar. The words are very sweet, and as I said, Punjab, Sindh, Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Nepal. If these are connected, then the harmony, the literature which was defined at that time when Buddhism was spreading, King Anshu Varman, he married his daughter in China, Brikuti. Her name was Brikuti, Green Tara, also famous as Green Tara, so which is worshipped in Buddhism, and she's worshipped in China as a deity. And I took Reiki Diksha from Reiki master Lama Nwang Rigzing. So he told us all about the Tibet and China and how people are not disconnected. Everybody is connected. The world is same at the end. This is what mutual relationship connects our Dr. Rabindranath Tagore. I spread some my emotional moments. This is the connectivity, and the need is that his contribution to children is also has influenced me, because whenever I sang Rashtragan of India, here we used to attend Nepali Rashtragan, and then in the borders of Nepal, and then we used to sing the national anthem of India, which used to as if something is moving in our nerves, and that much that song has influenced us. And we still respect India as our leader country, and yes, in every steps we need music. We need some creation, some laughter for our life, which is much needed like a medicine. It is like meditation, meeting people like this and discussing on and giving homage to people and still remembering our history, where we belong to, which connects us to the nature, ground on earth and reality about human needs, people needs. To understand people needs, we need to understand literature, music, and creations, inventions, and giving respect to them makes us a real informed global citizen. Okay, sir, this much for today.
I appreciate that. Before I could say the warning or caution that you concluded, yes. Now I believe that from the Maldives, Arun is ready. Yes, Arun, you can continue it till the Cisco WebEx stops.
Excuse me. So, assalamu alaikum, namaste.
Salam, namaste, namaskar, vanakkam.
Namaskar from Andhra Pradesh. I am Dr. Arun. Pankaj ji, namaste. Siddiqui ji, namaste. And the rest of the panelists. First of all, let me thank Mohammed Saheb Hussain ji for giving this opportunity. I'm really proud of being a part of this wonderful event. So, Rabindranath Tagore ji, what can we say about it? I just made a small presentation. I hope you guys will like it. I won't take it long because most of my predecessors have spoken most about him, and let me share just a few slides if that is fine.
Yes, sir. I could see them.
Excellent, excellent. So Gurudev, I would like to call him and Sri Rabindranath Tagore. Just a second. Sorry for that. I'm in my office, and these are our working hours. In Maldives, we work from evening 6 to 10 mostly. So, Gurudev, Rabindranath Tagore, in our place, we interchange V with B. Rabindranath Tagore, Vanga, Banga. So, that is the basic understanding of why I had Rabindranath Tagore instead of Rabindranath Tagore. Moving on. So, as my predecessor already said, he loved his life and he has seen different aspects of his life, but he wanted to be a poet. So, being a poet and being a poet, it's a wonderful feeling. I did write some poems, but I'm nowhere compared to any of the poets in this world. But moving on, this is what Union Minister of India, Nitin Gadkari, has tweeted today. And I was talking to a Sri Lankan friend of mine when my predecessors were saying that Rabindranath Tagore ji has written national anthem not only for India and Bangladesh, also is inspired by the author of Sri Lankan national anthem was inspired by the works of Rabindranath Tagore. So that was a great honor. And this is what Nobel Prize got to say on his birthday. As my predecessor also said, the first non-European laureate who was awarded Nobel Prize because of his sensitive, fresh, and beautiful verses. And yes, he was the youngest son of Sri Debendranath Tagore, leader of Brahmo Samaj. He was not only a poet, but also he has his ultimate monastic basis on Hinduism, as laid down in Upanishads. And as we also can understand his legacy of his work, not just as a writer, but also as a translator and various lecture tours of friendship. And in fact, he was the one who has awarded Mahatma to Mahatma Gandhi, as we already know. And this is what W.B. Yeats have spoken about his work on English translation of the Nobel Award-winning works of Dr. Professor or Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore. So tradition, poetry and religion are the same thing. You pass it through centuries, gathering from learned and unlearned metaphor, emotion, and carried back again to the multitude throughout the scholar and of the noble. So this is one poem which I would like to present to you. The sun of the first day. Put down the question to the new manifestation of life. Who are you? There was no answer. Years passed by. The last son of the last uttered the question on the shores of the western sea in the hush of the evening. Who are you? No answer came again. If you understand the depth of this one single poem across all his works, so who are you? That's a wonderful question one can ask for themselves. That one poem that can truly show themselves to themselves. That's where I would like to conclude my presentation. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yes, Arun, Dr. Arun from Maldives would appreciate.
Put down the question to the new manifestation of life. Who are you? There was no answer. Years passed by. The last son of the last chattered the question on the shores of the western sea. In the hush of the evening, who are you? No answer came again. If you understand the depth of this one single poem across all his works, so who are you? That's a wonderful question one can ask for themselves. That one poem that can truly show themselves to themselves. That's where I would like to conclude my presentation. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yes, Arun, Dr. Arun from Maldives would appreciate the presentation, the way that you made it, the slides, and nutshell that you concluded also. But still, the time is there. I would like to hear one or two poetic phrases from our. Yes, still 5 minutes are there. I request Professor Idris Muhammad Idris Siddiqui some two shairis of your own nature. And the poetry, I'm speaking with the poetry.
No, I'm not a poet, Dr. Hussain.
The story writer.
I'm a short story writer, and particularly I write for children.
Okay.
My books particularly deal with social and technological problems as well, or advancement. But I'm very proud of my short stories, a collection of short stories in Urdu language, which is about autistic children, the children with Down syndrome, the children suffering various kinds of mental disorders, which cannot be corrected at any cost. The life of these children particularly affected me. These problems affected me. I'm not very proud of this fact that when I was appointed as Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences, and my term was for 3 years. The very same year I resigned from my job, I opted for the voluntary retirement. And I said enough is enough because I have done a lot for myself. Now I have to give back to the society which I owe. And that's where I moved from India to Canada and started writing very seriously. My books deal with the knowledge gaps which Indian children have. I'm very proud of the fact that I am an Indian Muslim. No matter where I live, no matter what citizenship I have got, my nationality will remain the same. I'm an Indian and my ancestors were Indian. So when I go India every year, then I find that the children in India, they are not aware. I'm talking about those children who are studying in government schools, in schools in villages, private schools, small schools. They have never heard, they never come across the developments which are happening in the space and technology. Let me give you an example. When there was much hype about ISON, the comet, this was an astronomical phenomena, abnormal phenomena, when a comet just moved from its place behind the Oort clouds and traveled crores of miles.
Siddiqui sir, at any time the Cisco WebEx may stop, but you can continue it. I can, when I start again, I give the chance again. But you can continue till it stops.
So, ISON's journey, which was published by the National Book Trust in India, this has been published in 10 languages. It is about the ISON comet which landed at the surface of the sun or the core of the sun a celestial body never lands at the core of the sun. This was an abnormal phenomenon. When I went to India, I found that children are not aware of this fact. While in Canada, where I live and my wife teaches in the schools, they know very well about the ISA. So I wrote a story so that the student can learn from this story about this happening, and it was published in India in various Indian languages. I write for Indian children in various Indian languages, including Urdu. As one of your speakers said, mother tongue is very important because that truly reflects our personality. My mother tongue is Urdu language. I think and write in Urdu language, and I have some, you may say, if I am not boasting, command over Hindi language, which is my national language. I'm very proud of the fact. Sometimes I write in English, but rarely I write in English language. This is the book I wrote in all the three languages that has been published. So this is the kind of work I'm doing. I try to sensitize the issue of child labor in India. I gave presentations at Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, Jamia Millia Islamia, Rohilkhand University. This was about a social problem which is still existing in India.
Yes, thank you very much, Professor Dr. Siddiqui sir, for your nice presentation. And I'm very much thankful to the all members because there is some snag was there, and that's why some of the things not recorded in properly. But anyway, I managed to tackle it. But those who spoke with the video, and for them you can see the audio and video, but those who did not use the video, they could see only the audio. And this is the only the thing happened in the first session. With this, the first sessions will be closed. Once again, I would be thankful to all the participants as well as the speakers, those who present today and made their deliberations. And once again I say bye, have a good day. सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा. With this, that I would like to stop my today's thing, and have a good day and goodbye and Jai.
सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा. जय हिंद.
Jai Hind.